Hey folks, Wish SE. I've had several requests over the last month to talk about ear protection and my preferences for ear protection. So what we have in the table in front of us is everything from foam inserts, right? The small inserts that just run into your ear to the kind of extreme high-end noise canceling earphones. Whenever you're shooting using firearms, using power tools for that matter, you really need to use ear protection. The advantage of using foam plugs is they're filling that space in the ear canal and preventing any noise from getting in there. Upside is no noise is getting in there. Downside is you don't have really any situational awareness to what's happening. So if you're on a firing line and you can't hear anything else really that's going on around you, hard to hear range commands, hard to hear comments from other people, and if you're doing any kind of instruction or training or competition, then most people start looking at some alternatives to the kind of low end, just for pennies. We've got the foam earplugs, a $10 set of earmuffs, right? Again, protect you from the sound but don't allow you to hear anything else. So we're sort of putting the low end aside, and we're going to talk about some electronic ear protection that is noise canceling. So at the low end of the spectrum, what I have here, Howard Light, Impact Sports version, and these are okay. About $60, $70 retail. My knock on these earphones for me is the seal that they don't provide around my ears and jaw and head. What I notice is if I'm moving around a lot, particularly if I'm using long guns, carbine or shotgun, they're easy to press out of the way of that seal, and therefore they don't provide the kind of protection that I want for my ears. In addition, if you're using them in adverse condition, rain or whatever, they have a tendency to short out. So, lower end, you get what you pay for. They're okay. Whenever I use these earphones, I always use a set of foam earplugs as well. So if they're pushed out of the way, I've got that protection. I can crank the volume up all the way and use foam earplugs and hear what's going on. And they do a pretty decent job. The earphones that I've used for a number of years that work very, very well, I've had a couple of sets of them, are the Pro ears. And in this case, the Pro 300 series. So these are a significant step up, so retail for $120 to $150, and they do a great job as far as canceling out the noise. They're heavy, they're a little hot, so if you wear them in the summer, they can be uncomfortable. You really feel like you're sweating a lot, but they do a very good job. Whenever I shoot indoor ranges, I always will double plug. So I will have a set of foam earplugs, and I will also have noise canceling earphones, and generally these are the phones that I have been using. I recently upgraded to sort of the other end for a $300 pair of noise canceling. These are the Supreme Pro X. This is the MSA quality ear protection that are noise canceling. These are used by military law enforcement, and they're really, really outstanding. Now, if you run comms, you can obviously run your communications gear through this type of earphone. This set, they're designed to do that. I don't have any comms, no need to use them. But what I wanted something that provided a great seal so it wouldn't move whenever I mounted a long gun, or if I was humping stuff around or moving around a lot, they would stay in place. And also do a great job of blocking out the high decibels while allowing conversations to happen. If you shoot IDPA, IPSC, 3-gun, anything that requires a timer, or if you practice a lot with a timer, having a set of noise canceling earphones really makes all the difference in the world. So bottom line is, whenever you use a firearm, whenever you use power tools, use ear protection, because you only get one set of ears, right? And they're there to last you your life. Many guys that I know who were shooters 20 years before I ever started actually have some sort of hearing loss because in the 50s, 40s, 30s, people just didn't use ear protection, and now they're suffering the results. So, recommend, insist, whatever you want to say, get a good quality pair of ear protection and use them all the time. If you're using foam earplugs, that's just fine. Foam is better than nothing and will certainly do a good job for the average shooters just going out plinking. As you migrate and develop more shooting skills and more training, more practice, more competition, look seriously at spending the money to get a top quality set. And again, there are other manufacturers. I've just shown you some of the ones. My preference is to spend the money, a lot of money. I recognize that these have a 5-year warranty, so I know a lot of people that have these, military law enforcement, and they hold up very well. My 2 cents on EarPro: get a good set, wear them all the time. Hey, thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay safe.